Over the course of the next 40 minutes, we will be talking through the various aspects of the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Program, whatever part of the program that you are able to fulfill. Joining me today are Geraldine Delaney, a teacher and also an Irish Rural Link Farm Safety Champion. My co-panelists for the day is Niamh Monaghan and Aisling Kelly, both primary school teachers from St. Daig's Primary School in Monaghan, and they will be talking to us a little bit about a very special Farm Safety Day that they actually ran in their own school back in June. So they will be able to share some real pearls of wisdom. One very important USP of the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Program is that it is developed for teachers, and in many ways it's been developed by teachers for teachers. That's very important to us, that everything that we create is relevant and useful and supports you and your pupils in every aspect of your curriculum-linked farm safety programs. So, without further ado, let's kickstart the information session. We'll be taking all questions afterwards, and you can pop your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. So, first of all, a little bit about AgriKids. We've a very, very special ethos, and that is that we engage, we educate, and that we empower our children to become our farm safety ambassadors. AgriKids is 10 years old now, and we've never ever wavered from that very ethos. It's built into our vision, built into our mission, and very much a huge part of our values. We want to make sure that we expand the farm safety message to all. We move farm safety from a place of just awareness to actual practice, that we denormalize the risk culture that is unfortunately a major contributory factor to the high rate of farm accidents and incidents that are taking place around the country, but also that we do value the fact that there are children who are brought up onto a farm and are living on a farm, and that they are only exposed to jobs that are age appropriate. We also value farm families and rural communities, so that everybody who does find themselves on a farm knows what to expect, how to behave, and also how to remain safe and cognizant at all times. So, if you want to become part of the AgriKids community, the first thing we ask you to do is to head over to the AgriKids website, agrikids.ie. There you will find our list of programs, whether it's for schools, for home, or within the wider community. For our schools, we ask that you log into a very special portal, which I have outlined here. And when you log into that portal, you immediately become part of the AgriKids community. But also behind this very wall, you will find everything that you need to know about becoming a part of the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador programs. Over the basis of this webinar, there are two particular programs that we are talking about. It's AgriKids Farm Safety Hour and AgriKids Farm Safety Day. Also, within that wall, not only will you find the various programs, but you will also find the different resources that are all class linked. So we have resources from preschool all the way up to 5th and 6th class. They're broken down, they're designed in such a way that they are age and ability appropriate. But I will say, if there's anything that you feel we could do better, that we could provide, please do always let us know, because only then will we know that the information and the content that we are creating is relevant. So, what's going to be involved in the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Program? Well, this time around we have two programs. To support the programs, we are running 12 webinars, which are kicking off on the 17th of October. We also are undertaking 15 school visits, and for those taking part in the Farm Safety Day option, we are introducing the brand new Farm Safety Ambassador Awards, and a little bit more about them later on. But yes, there will be cash prizes. So, as I mentioned, there are two programs that we're talking about here. Our entry-level Farm Safety Hour can be done over the course of any hour over the school week. You can choose any activity that we have listed in the Farm Safety Hour page on our website. You can download a handbook, you can watch any of the webinars, and then carry out the webinar wind back quiz that we have created. You can carry out a lesson plan, or you can invite a speaker to class. We really, really welcome when you reach out into your wider community to bring people into your classrooms. Maybe it's a local farmer, maybe it is a local community first aid responder, a nurse, it could be a local vet, it could be anybody, even somebody from the ESB or your local community guard. They are all part of the farm safety message. And we have worked a lot with those people over the past number of years. And we know that what they have to supply with regards to content and workshops is very relevant. For those then who may want to do the Farm Safety Day, well, this is where things get a little bit trickier and a little bit fun. We basically have linked this into the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Flag program. For those of you who want to do the day, all we ask is that you choose a theme, and then just like the hour, you can invite in speakers, you can carry out any activities over the course of a day, or maybe over the course of two days, whichever you prefer, creating poster displays, using the activity sheets, the workbooks, watch the webinars, anything that we have put out there for you to help you can all be used. So if you want to do the Farm Safety Hour, the first thing you have to do is to head over to the AgriKids Schools portal, which we saw on the previous slide. Register for the Farm Safety Hour. Then choose any of the hour-long activities that we have listed there, or create your own. Step 4, we ask that you submit your work for certification on or before the 21st of November. Once we receive notice, then we know what schools have completed each programme and where to send the various certificates. We ask that you share your feedback with us throughout this process. It will be used to shape and also inform policy around this particular program, and I suppose growing it and scaling it over the many, I hope, years to come. Step 6, please have fun with this. It is really important. For far too long, safety messages can be quite jaded, can be quite stilled, and with AgriKids we've always tried to inject a little bit of fun into our farm safety message. For those who want to do the Farm Safety Day, well, once again, head over to the AgriKids website and register for the Farm Safety Day program. At this point, you can choose your theme. There are 3 to choose from. You can choose field and farmyard safety, animal safety and well-being, or tractor machinery and safety. Once you have your theme picked, you can either run your day in line with your chosen theme by inviting speakers, creating those posters, doing project work, and sending some homework home also is also a very good idea. Once again, we ask that you submit your work for certification on or before the 21st of November, letting us know what your chosen theme was. For each theme, you will get a pennant, a little bit like the Green Schools and Green Flag. Once you have collected all 3 pennants over running the program over 3 consecutive years, then you will receive your AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Flag. And again, please keep us informed. You can either email us info@agrikids.ie or contact us through any of our social media platforms. For those who are doing the Farm Safety Day, 1, 2 and 3 are each of your themes, and then you will receive your flag off the back of that. Okay? And also, if you have chosen to do a day, then you're automatically qualified into the AgriKids Farm Safety Ambassador Awards. And these are really, over the years, I've met and come across so many examples of just excellent teaching in terms of initiatives and ideas and learning. And also I've met some wonderful children along the way who are so passionate about this particular topic. And I really want to champion that. So with these awards, we are recognizing those who are exceptional in this particular area. And we're hoping that the work that they've done, that we can share and inspire and create, I suppose, a wider community when it comes to the topic of farm safety. We have 3 different categories for the awards. Best School and Best Class in terms of Best Farm Safety Day. So you will win either €1,000 if you've applied as a whole school, or €500 if you've applied as a school. And we will be judging these based on the submissions that we receive on or before the 21st. The second two categories, well, they're down to you a little bit. We are looking for you to nominate. We are looking for some of the best learning initiatives out there. And that for us is helping us to keep this topic fresh and relevant. We are looking for 2 nominations to come in that we feel are absolutely excellent. And we do ask that we can share these learning ideas on the AgriKids website. And of course, we will be crediting them back to the original source. For these 2 categories where there are cash prizes, we do ask that the money is invested back into the welfare and well-being of the school. Maybe you're looking to grow your art or technology. Maybe you're looking to create more sports facilities, amenities around the school, and that's where we'd like to see that money going. The third category, well, this is all about the children. We're looking for 4 children, 1 in each region, who have really, I suppose, shone in this particular topic. And again, we're asking for teachers to submit these nominations. I know it mightn't be easy, but I know from the teachers that I've met that they have come across some children that they really, really welcome the opportunity to be able to shine the light on them a little bit and to give them a little bit of a stage. We will be launching when and how to apply for these awards in the next week. So by doing these programs, I suppose there are some outcomes and impacts that we are hoping to achieve. We want our children to successfully engage and understand the topic of farm safety, that they feel energized and excited by it, that they believe change is important and it is possible, and they see themselves as having a key role within that. That they meet some very positive role models along the way. Maybe it's the local guard, the local farmer. I know a lot of parents who really welcome the idea of an opportunity of coming in to speak to a class. And for those who would like to but feel a little bit nervous, do remember that AgriKids have a very special speaker's manual and guide that we have created for such instances, and we have those also in our school's portal. We also hope that children feel empowered by the whole topic and are happy to become our ambassadors for farm safety, both in their classroom, in their home, and within the wider community. In terms of the impacts, increased knowledge of dangers, of how to avoid these dangers, and a greater appreciation that, yes, farms can be wonderful places to go and visit and learn from, but they have to know that they are extremely hazardous also. That they have better awareness of the common dangers, and that they have knowledge and skills for all children to avoid the different hazards that they may come across on a farm. So, programme delivery and some important dates that are coming up. We are closing the date to register for programmes for this round of the programme on the 24th of October. On or before November 21st, we ask that all submissions are put into us, and you can submit on the website in the portal at the bottom of the page for each programme. Winners notification for the AgriKids Ambassador Awards will be before the 25th, on or before the 25th of November, and the programme itself ends on the 28th, and we will then be submitting a survey to all of those who took part and who registered to get a little bit of feedback that we can use once again to structure, shape and inform policy, which we will be bringing to the wider powers. Our webinars for schools will be kicking off on the 17th and running until the 14th of November. There are 3 webinars on each of those Fridays, and I've done that specifically that we are getting content out to a wider cohort of children. So from 10 a.m. it's infants to first class, from at 11:15 second to fourth class, and at 1:10 we have our 5th and 6th class. We always see our 5th and 6th class children as our mentors and as our future senior ambassadors for farm safety. And we really welcome opportunities where these older groups have, I suppose, informed, worked with and mentored the younger children on this particular topic. So I'm going to leave it there for now, but before we get into questions and answers, I'm going to call on Niamh and Aisling, primary school teachers from St. Daig's National School in Monaghan, to talk to us a little bit about a very special event that they ran in their own school last June. So Niamh, if you are there, I'm going to ask you to talk, first of all, a little bit about the motivation, about putting the day together, and then Aisling, you might come in then and tell us a little bit about the day itself.
Thank you so much, Alma. Hello, everyone. Thanks for coming on today. I suppose, as Alma said, my name's Neve Monaghan and I'm a primary school teacher. I teach in Enniskeane in County Monaghan along with my colleague Aisling, who you'll be talking to soon. I am a teacher, but I'm also a part-time farmer. So I farm with my father, Eamon. Have farmed all my life, have grown up on a farm, absolutely love farming. We farm beef and sheep, and it's a wonderful place to live, a wonderful place to grow up, and I suppose a wonderful place to learn, particularly for children. But as everyone knows, it does come with risks. So that's something that has always been at the forefront of my mind. A couple of years ago, I completed my Green Cert in agriculture, and as part of that program, I had a module on farm safety. For this module, it really, really struck a chord with me, that how important it is for adults to learn about farm safety, but also the importance of children learning about it. So I looked into it a little bit more and found Alma's website and Alma's program, the AgriKids program. I absolutely loved the ethos. I suppose engage, educate, empower is so, so important. So I decided to do a couple of lessons throughout the year just in my class to see how it went. The engagement was phenomenal and kids really, really enjoyed it, and it really equipped them with the knowledge. Both children from rural and urban backgrounds absolutely loved the lessons, loved the games, loved the songs. It was brilliant. I suppose back then, where our farm safety day came from was in January of this year. Myself and my father, Eamon, had a horrendous dog attack on our flock of sheep. We lost quite a substantial number of sheep, and I suppose it had a really negative impact on our mental health, I suppose, and our well-being and emotionally as well. It was the fourth dog attack that we'd had in 5 years, and for us, we felt like we needed to do something. We needed to make a change. We needed to put this energy into doing something positive. So I decided to reach out to teachers all across Ireland. I'm sure some of you are on the call today that I reached out to ask, about farm safety. Have you taught farm safety in school? And the, I suppose, opportunity of including the responsibility of pet ownership within that program. A lot of teachers came back and said, yes, they're doing bits and pieces, they're making up their own stuff. And what struck a chord with me was nobody was aware that I suppose there are programs out there, and not many were aware of AgriKids. So after this, I decided to reach out to Alma Jordan, who you've just heard from, who is an absolutely amazing woman. And she got back to me straight away. I told her that I had an idea, and we had a very long Zoom call. And we spoke about everything. And Alma then included the responsibility of pet ownership, and I suppose a safe spring on the farm, to do with making sure to keep dogs on a lead and to keep livestock safe. This was an absolutely fantastic initiative and was so well accepted among the farming community. So then after we had rolled this out, myself and Aisling spoke a couple of times in school about the possibility of maybe doing a farm safety day. So we spoke to our colleagues in our school in St. Diggs National School, which were fantastic, and our principal and teachers, and asked them, would there be an opportunity to maybe do a farm safety day, and I suppose incorporate all of the things from Alma's program, and to really have a day where the children got to learn so much, not just about farm life, but about accidents, emergencies, everything else. So Aisling will talk to you about that now. Our theme for that was the farm is not a school playground. So I suppose that's where it had all stemmed from for me, from I suppose a very traumatic event in my life to hopefully turning it into a positive.
Thank you so much for that, Neve. Sorry, I couldn't find my unmute there. Thank you so much for that. Aisling, I'm going to bring you in now, and you might kind of go through the various activities that actually took place during your farm safety day.
Hi everybody, how are you? My name is Aisling Kelly. I am a primary school teacher from County Kildare, but I am currently living in County Monaghan, and I am working with the lovely Neve Monaghan, who you just heard from. And we did our farm safety day on the 5th of June in 2025. So I also grew up on a farm in Kildare, and I still farm part-time at home with my dad and my uncles. So farming is a huge passion of mine, along with education. And I also completed my Green Cert in 2021. And it was then when I did the farm safety module as well, I realised how important farm safety is. There's probably 7 of us working on our farm at home, and between the 7 of us, we have had so many farm accidents over the years between different limbs and different things and heads, and too much, to be honest. And it really showed me that even though my dad and my uncles and my cousins were farming all our lives, complacency can set in even with people who are used to farming. They're used to the rules. That complacency can set in, and we need constant reminders for adults and for children about how to stay safe on the farm. So when Neve came to me with the idea about doing a farm safety day, I jumped on it because there where we teach in Enniskeane is a really rural agricultural setting, and a lot of the children would spend a lot of times on farms, whether it is in the summertime with parents, cousins, aunties and uncles, grannies and granddads, or there might be children who are going down the country during the summertime. It was in June, so it was the time when the harvest was starting, the hay was starting, silage was being done, everything like that. So we were very aware of farm accidents. And, you know, you hear every year about children dying on the farm. And this is something we really, really have to combat. So we said if we could do one small thing to combat any child or adult dying on the farm, that it would go a long way. So it really kind of escalated from there. So we used Alma's amazing resources, her lesson plans, videos. She has discussion sheets, there are games, there are some absolutely amazing resources in there. So they were printed off for every class, and every class was given some lessons to do. We made a timetable so that all of the people that we contacted, all the children were able to do every single activity at different times of the day. So it started off really with just getting Alma in to do a farm safety talk with the children. But we contacted a few more people, and then people actually got in contact with us as well. So we had the fire brigade. I'm sure you can see the pictures there of the first responders that came. So we had the fire brigade that came in with their fire engine. They did a full talk with the children about fire engine safety. The children were able to get up into the fire engine, showed them the different parts, showed them the hose, how to call 999. And they were really good. The children were so engaged in what the fire brigade were saying, and they really took it really, really seriously, which we weren't sure if they would or not. We weren't sure would have a lot of it go over their head. But even from junior infants right the way up to 6th class, they really, really got involved and they loved it. Even like for the little ones, trying on the hard hats of the fire brigade and trying on the jackets, they absolutely loved it. And then the older children were able to talk about what to do in the event of an accident, how to call the fire brigade, things like that. We also had the paramedics that came in. So we have local first responders who came in, and they were from 2 different groups. So we had people from Monaghan and people from Dundalk that came in, and they brought their ambulance, and they were so, so kind. They allowed the children into the ambulance to walk through it. They allowed them to pick up all the bits that were inside it. There was nothing dangerous inside it, thank God for that. But they allowed the children to see what was inside. They were able to explain every part of the ambulance. The children really, really loved it. They were able to see the gurneys, they were able to see all the PPE, all the safety equipment, and handle it and feel it. And even talking to paramedics, it made it much more real for the children. You can watch so many videos, or you can see it on YouTube or whatever it might be, but when you actually see it in real life, it's so much better. You can actually hear my dog whining in the background, sorry about that. We also had CPR training for the children, where all the children were given mannequins. Sorry, hang on 1 second. I'm just going to mute myself here for 1 second. Sorry.
No problem, but I'm sure that you can see the influence of local community in getting involved. And as we wait for Ashton there, just to let you know, this is a hard copy of the special manual, and it's off scale gefreshen. So the special manual that we did bring out to help support people in the community to come in and deliver a farm safety talk. So I'll let you take it back up there, Ashton.
Sorry. Sorry, everybody. My dog likes a lot of attention, so apologies about that. So we had CPR training then for 1st class up to 6th class. The infants weren't really ready for it. It would have been too much for them. So the paramedics brought in some mannequins. They showed the children how to do CPR. The children were so engaged in it. They absolutely loved it. It was so child friendly and very easy for the children to engage in. They made it very simple and not scary for the children, which was great. Because CPR can be a really scary thing for children, but because they made it so child friendly, it really, really supported the children in learning the practical tools and things that they needed to know about CPR without including the fear element to it. And then with the 5th and 6th class, they also included catastrophic injury training, which was fabulous for them. They had prosthetic limbs where they came in and showed them how to bandage up wounds, which was brilliant, because you never know. These children are the ones who, as Alma said, are the future generations of farmers, might be given more responsibility on the farm during the summer, and they need to know these things that might eventually save a life, And we also had a local farmer come in. His name was PJ Fitzsimons. He is a parent in the school. I teach his little son and junior infants, and he came in. He had a personal motivation for being involved in the project because he lost his own father in a farm safety accident 5 years ago. So he really wanted to come in, share his thoughts and ideas with the children. And I think it's great to get somebody local. Now, you may not be able to get somebody local for your school, but if you can get somebody local, all the better, because they will have a personal interest in the local children, the local community, and that really shone through when PJ came in. He's also a secondary school teacher and farmer himself, so he was well able to chat to the children. He brought in his tractor and he brought his trailer, and he showed the children all about the safety elements of the tractor. He asked them questions. He allowed them to come up near the tractor. It was turned off at the time, of course. And then he also did a PTO demonstration, which was really effective, because now he only did this with 5th and 6th class because it would have been too scary for the little ones. So he stuffed a mannequin, or a hazmat suit. He stuffed a hazmat suit with straw and put it beside a PTO shaft that was partially uncovered to show the children the dangers. And then, with the children standing really far back, he turned on the PTO, and the whole mannequin shredded to pieces. So it was a very chilling thing to see, but it really woke the children up to see just how dangerous it is. Because in my own family, myself, I have had a family member lose a limb from PTO, and it is life-changing. So was something that was really important for the children to see, but also in a child-friendly way, that they could understand the severity of it without seeing an actual accident itself. And then we also, of course, had Alma doing her farm safety talks then over in the community centre. Our day seems huge, and I know there could be some people on the call thinking, my God, this is too much. We wouldn't be able to do all of this. Nobody is expecting anybody to make a day this big. Ours kind of snowballed. It started off quite small, and more people got in touch with us because they wanted to get involved from the local community. So like, you can do it. You could have one of these people to come in. You do not need to have absolutely everybody coming in to get involved. 1 or 2 of these people would be brilliant. Ours snowballed hugely. I don't know if anybody saw it, but it was actually, we got some people from the media who wanted to cover it. So we had a fella come from RTE News. It ended up on News Today, our Farm Safety Day. And then we had the Northern Standard, Northern Sound, the Farmers Journal, and Agriland and AgriAware also picked up on the day. So it got huge coverage nationwide. It spiraled into something huge, but it was really successful because it's something that the children in our school are really passionate about, because they are coming from farming backgrounds. Now, I know not everyone on the call is in an area where it is a rural farming background, but I think it would be really beneficial for our children in urban areas, because these are the children who have no experience on the farm, and they are the children that might be going down to granny and granddad or aunties and uncles in the summertime. They've never seen a cow. They don't know what a tractor is. Well, they do know what a tractor is, but they don't know about starting a tractor, being inside a tractor, things like that, and they may not fully understand the dangers. So these are the children that we also want to target, not just children that are in the rural areas. Ours was kind of more of a pilot program, but we got huge interest afterwards on people wanting us to carry it out in other schools. So it was really successful. The children really enjoyed it. It's still something now, even 3 or 4 months later, that the children are still talking about it and saying, that was my favorite part of school last year, was our Farm Safety Day. Telling us, I remember that rule, or I remember when PJ did this, or I remember what Alma told us. So it really rang true for the children, and it was really beneficial. So our message was, the farm is not a playground, and I think it worked very well, because we didn't hear about any farm accidents over the summer anyway from anybody. So thank God for that. Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Aisling and Neve, for that. And it was really just, and I'm actually glad you kind of mentioned the fact that what they did was, wow, it's at that end of the scale. So it was a really tremendous day. But what I think is very telling is that as soon as they mentioned it to one person, it did snowball. It snowballed on its own accord, because there's a lot of passion and there is a lot of motivation within local communities, especially on this particular topic. People want to help, and they just sometimes need to be given that opportunity and that platform to do it. I have an example here of one of the pennants that we are giving as part of those taking part in the Farm Safety Day option. We have one for field and farmyard, one, as I said, for animal, and one for tractors and machinery. All three lead to a flag. So we're now going to open up the floor. If anybody has any questions at this point, please do let me know. You will also see a QR code here on the screen. We ask that you take a copy of that and complete the survey there, because we're obviously, as I said, this is a relatively new concept that we're trying to grow and develop, and your feedback is absolutely key in making sure that it is a success. So I have had a couple of questions coming into me. One person wants to know that I've just signed up for the hour, but I think I'd like to try out the day. Is it possible to switch programs? Absolutely. You can switch from hour to day or day to hour. This is all about finding the program that suits you in the time that you have. Whatever you can give is absolutely welcomed. All you have to do is, when you are submitting on or before the 21st of November, you let us know at that point if you're doing day or if you're doing hour. If you are doing day, please let us know which of the themes you have actually gone for at that point. Another question I have is, if I share a learning idea or an initiative, is my name mentioned? Yes, it is. Absolutely. We want to basically show that this isn't just, me at home coming up with ideas, that it has come in from people who are there actually doing the work. And actually, even though both Niamh and Aisling were very complimentary on my resources, they are actually working themselves on helping and supporting me in this regard by creating some slide decks for a lot of the different discussions that we have, and I can tell you guys, were absolutely amazing. So for those who are doing the field and farmyard safety theme, you're going to be well covered with the slide decks that the girls have prepared. Now I'm wondering if Geraldine is there, because Geraldine, if you are, you might be able to let me know if we have any other questions that are coming in.
Hello everybody, and great to have so many on. I think there's 36 people on there, I see. Yeah, just if it's possible to organize a local farm visit. I think you've that covered, Alma. Just wondering if they can get a copy of the slides.
Yes, yes, I have no problem in sharing the slides with anybody who is on the call today. If you would like a copy of them, please email info@agrikids.ie. Geraldine, you might put that email into the chat box there for everybody, info@agrikids.ie, and I'd be happy to share the slide decks with you. Also, for anybody doing the day option, there is an animated video, how-to video there that you can follow and you can share with people also, if you want to do them. But do reach out to your local community, do reach out to a local farmer, do reach out to a local nurse and vet, especially for anybody who's doing anything to do with the animals. Nurses are tremendous in coming into talking about everything from zoonotic diseases to what to do if there is an accident or an incident on a farm involving or not involving an animal. Vets are terrific also in talking a little bit about the more, I suppose, intensive animal actions, everything from putting a ring in a bull's nose to safe handling facilities, that kind of thing. So there are some really tremendous specialized speakers that you can bring in. This is on our national school curriculums. So, there are people out there who have their own education programs in place for safety, the guards, etc. And this feeds into the work that they do. And this is what this is all about, adding value to what is already out there. I've just actually had another question coming in. Oh yeah, what happens if we get the flag? Do we just start again the following year? Well, I love that question, because that's somebody who really wants to do well. What I would be looking to do is that as soon as somebody gets all 3 pennants and they get their flag, that yes, you do go for a second flag, that yes, you do go for a third flag, because anybody who achieves their third flag, they get something a little bit more. Okay, so yes, you will be kind of going up the scale and going up the tier, and we'll also be looking to add to that AgriKids Ambassador program also. We also hope that should this round of the program go well, that we will be given the tender once again to run it next year. So there's every likelihood that schools who run now and pick a theme and go for the day option, that they have an option to go for their second theme and their second pennant in the next after Christmas of this year. So that's definitely an option, and fingers crossed on that particular one. Okay. Geraldine, is there any other questions that have come in there?
No, I think we've covered, and you have covered, I think, everything. And my apologies as well today, not showing my face for some reason or another. It's not allowing me, but it's just showing you a lovely background there of the wooded area beside me. But no, I think the only thing I think I remember one of the schools saying to me, we'd love to use some of the stuff from their your day with us for their annual newsletters and their annuals that they bring out in their booklets for the school. So I'm sure that'll be a great one for us as well, for advertising it and promoting it.
Terrific. Anybody who wants to share anything that they're doing with regards to anything to do with AgriKids, whether it's the Farm Safety Hour or the Farm Safety Day, please do use the hashtag Farm Safety to include us and everybody in the conversation. It's a very active hashtag within the farm safety community, and please do tag us in because we love to see what people do. I've had some tremendous examples, and just to give you all a few and maybe to leave it with this kind of words of inspiration. I've had one school where a little boy worked with his granddad in creating a tractor safety manual. And that was wonderful to see two generations working together for the common purpose of improving safety awareness. Another school actually, they did a load of posters, and they circulated them into the local farm shops, co-ops, marts, local parish, community halls. And that was to take the message from the classroom again into the wider community. So that kind of engagement is absolutely vital, and really kind of feeds into, you know, our vision of denormalizing risks and risky attitudes to farm life. We're in the business of trying to make our farms much safer places, and it's only with your help, with your input, with your inspiration and that we can do it. And definitely, and from the children that I've met over the years, they are key in all of that. So Geraldine just flashed up on our screen there, which was lovely. I have been recording this event, and if there's any other questions, can the webinars be watched at a later date? Yes, they can be. I will be recording the webinars, and they are starting on the 17th, and I will be recording each of them and probably picking the best to go live. But yeah, no, I will circulate them as they happen, because you know things happen. I know a lot of schools are closed on the 24th for the elections. The webinars will be running as normal, but will be recorded for any teacher who may want to make them available for children to watch over the mid-term break. So I think we have answered everything that's come in now, which is great. Thank you all so much for that. And I see some people are actually signing up, so thank you again for all of that. If anybody would like any other information, do drop us an email. We're here to help. We ask that this is very much a two-way process. We really appreciate it. I'd like to thank my panelists, Niamh and Aisling, for joining and sharing with us about the tremendous event that they ran at their school. Thank you, Geraldine, for coming on and helping with all the logistics involved in putting this event together. I look forward to the next number of weeks to see what happens, what conversations get started, and hopefully creating a much more sustainably safer future on our farms. So until we all meet again, thank you all for stopping along, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Bye bye.